Then a basic destruction spell, for example, a mystical space typhoon. It has a 0 in front of the card name here. When looking for scripts, don't type it as 0 in front of the card name. You can't find anything. Always, when there are zeros in the beginning of the card name, leave the zeros out. So it's 5318639. So we start again. Card name, it's effect type activate, it's a spell or trap, it's a category destroy, it destroys stuff, event free chain, there's nothing funny happening in the chain link. This is a hint timing. This is for quick play spells or quick monster effects that it will say hint timing for since this is 0, this means it will not display hint timings when you do stuff, but when the opponent does stuff, when on their end phase or when they equip something. Set property, it targets a card, so it has to have this effect flag card target. Then set target, set operation. I'm gonna look through it again. Check if the target, what we want to target is on the field. We check the filter, it's a spell or trap. And there's a card other than the handler or the card that's activating on the field. Get handler means that another card except the card that's activating. Then duel is existing matching target on either side of the field, since Mystical Space Typhoon can destroy any card, spell or trap card. And again, get handler, this means it cannot, if you activate MST, you can't activate MST to target itself. It will again show the small hint box. Since we are targeting the card, we have the target in here. If this was just destroy one spell or trap card your opponent controls, this means the effect doesn't target. And it's a lot more powerful since the opponent doesn't know what you're gonna destroy from your spell or trap zone, so they don't know what to chain. For example, Moral Attack has this. It will just say that destroy one card, it will not target anything, so the opponent doesn't know which card you're gonna target. It will select the target on the field, either side of the field, one target, only one, and then get handler, it cannot target itself. Then it will say, hey, I'm gonna destroy a card, it's gonna be assigned to the variable G. Then it will it will assign to the TC, the first one that we will find from the G, the first target. If TC is still on the field and it's related to effect, we destroy TC due to the reason of a card effect. Pretty simple. Now this might seem very complicated to you, but as you do more effects, this will all start making sense to you. As a general rule of thumb, when you have an effect, try typing it into the effect box here. For example, the cannot be destroyed by battle effect. Then you will look through these cards, find the one that you actually want, and then use search that card's ID on the scripts folder and use that. Almost all, if not all, of the cards that are officially scripted for Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro have some types of hint wordings here, meaning it will say what the effect is. So you don't have to guess that, oh, is this that effect, or is this that effect, or is this that effect? Most of them will have these. If it's not explained there, it will be explained with these. If it's something simple such as cannot be destroyed by battle, sometimes that might not have this little here, because it's such a simple effect. This is the most basic way to script cards. Then another thing, when you're scripting cards, and we just copied these in here, you notice that these E numbers here at the beginning of each card, these are individual to each card that the card has. So if there would be, if all of these would be E2, for like this, for example, like this, it's, you're trying to tell to the computer that I have this one effect that is applied to E2, but I also have this other effect that's also applied to E2. So it doesn't know what it's going to be doing with these. So whenever you have effects, always make sure that the E numbers for each effect are different. You need to make sure that the first one, on the first line, local EX create effect, is something you've decided to put it as 69. Then you need to make sure that each line below it has the same 69 here. And then in the last line, register effect. This needs to be also E69. Then again, it would do the same here. E2, set it each one as E2, etc. The same naming thing is with these, when you're putting values, targets, operations, that this name has to be the same as the one you're calling in the effect text below. If this was val1 and if this is just val, it doesn't find the val1, so you cannot call to it and it will error out. The same thing with filters. Also make sure when you have big and big card effects, when you start having more and more filters, make sure that each of the filters is named differently. You can take a good habit that when you're naming filters, always put a 1 in front of them. If it's the first filter. The second filter will be filter 2, and then filter 3, and filter 4, and so on, and so on. Effects can be named target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4. And the same with operation. Operation 1, operation 2, operation 3. It's good to get into this habit that you always make sure that names up here in these effects match the names below here, and that they're all named differently. These are two of the main points, and usually the thing that drives people the most insane is finding that you've put 1 in here and you try to find why is this effect not working. I've coded it perfectly, and then you find that there's 1 extra letter in here, and then you just delete it and oh, it works again. Finding out how the certain effects work, you have to look at already made cards. There are, well, I have custom cards, but there are 14,000 cards in the game. I'm sure some card will have something similar to you. At least something similar to what you're making. This also has anime cards, and anime cards break the boundaries of normal card rules, so they have some of the wonkiest card effects out there. Also, something to keep in mind when you're making your forged cards, don't make them so complicated as I've done. You're just gonna break your head since you're bashing it against the wall and you're thinking, oh, I can't do this effect, how I'm gonna do it? There's no way I'm gonna do it. Just make some simple effects. Even this, once per turn you can special summon 1 from your hand. You can special summon. Huh. You search that with the card text. Okay, let's start looking at this card text. When this card on the field is destroyed, you can special summon 1 Hyper Psychic Blaster from your graveyard. Not exactly what we want. Then you start looking through here. You start looking at what might have a similar effect. If you can't find exactly similar, something like Vega. Even though it's a special summon that triggers when it's normal or special or flip summoned, we can still look at the card effect of Vega. We will see that it's a special summon effect that will trigger when it's summoned, flip summoned or special summoned. This clone means it will clone E1 into E2, but with this change into one of the lines. Then set property. It can be activated during the summon step. You know that when you special summon any of the Tellarknights, you can activate their effects anytime. They never miss timing. Then it has this target and this operation. Now, in order to change this into an ignition effect, let's pull up my card again. Let's put them side by side. Special summon. Okay. It's a category special summon here. Effect type single. Effect type trigger. It's not a trigger effect though. It's an ignition effect. So you simply override this line and replace it with effect type ignition. Now, since it's an ignition effect and you have to manually activate it, you have to tell the card where it can be activated. This could be in the graveyard, in the hand, in the spell or trap zone if you did that, in the deck even, I think, banished zone, anything. So we tell that, differing from this, you only need to remember that ignition effects need a range that they can be activated in. Then set count limit. It was cast once per turn, which means once per card. So this last part here, we don't need it. So we only set it as 1, okay? Then we have the target. These two target names can be anything. I mean, target and operation name can be anything, just as long as the computer knows what it's looking for. Then we go down. Here. We find SPTG. That's the special summon. We can actually change my card now if you wish to be the proper special summon, so it doesn't target cards in the hand. Since unless it's like you're targeting a card in the opponent's hand, exactly that card that you're going to discard it later, special summon effects, etc. don't target cards in the hand. So we would take this effect of Vega. We know that it's a special summon effect. We copy it, just replace this all with this. Replace the filter. Check that the filter name is correct. Yeah, it's just filter. Yeah. And it's from the location hand. Yeah, great. We got it. Then, that was as simple as that. You just copied it over here, check the filter name, check the target name. Since I'm not copying the target portion of it, I've named this myself, so I can just keep it like this. Then we go into the operation. Okay. If my monster count is lower or equals to 0, I cannot special summon it. So we copy this over into here. Okay. If get location count M zone is 0, yeah, return end. This means it will return 0, so it means it will not continue onwards with this effect. Then select matching card. Oh, that's not our card's number. We need to replace that. Oh, sorry. With this one. Then it will check in the location hand. Yes, I'm special summoning from my hand. If the get count G is higher than 0, if we have a card to special summon, it will special summon it face up. A card that triggered on being special summoned, normal summoned, or flip summoned was changed to an ignition effect. Since the card effect is the same, the only thing that changes is the effect type. This is how you can get the most effects working in the game. It's a similar effect, it's a special summon effect, but it has different activation requirements. Into this we could add a cost, we could add a condition, we could change the what we are special summoning. Anything can be changed and added into this effect. But for now, know that most effects, when you're looking for them, search them in the search bar. Some basic cards that you can take a look at that have the most basic effects are Tellarknights. They trigger from any summon, and each one of them does something different. The other simple cards, such as a card that adds a card from your deck to your hand, is Reinforcements of the Army. If we open up Rhoda once more, we can change this location deck to any place. We can change it to graveyard, we can change it to banished. You can even change it to the opponent's hand if you put this location deck into 0 and change this into location hand. The problem with this is you're taking cards from your opponent's hand, and we don't really want that, do we? Do note I did not suggest this to you. Now, in order to change that, if we were to change this to graveyard, we need to make sure that it's changed from every single part in here as well. So if we were to only change this, it will first check that, okay, my deck has this card, but then it will go here and it will add the card from my deck. So make sure that you change these names always. Then something like destruction that doesn't target. I found Odd-Eye Saber to be my card for that. Oh. I look at Odd-Eye Saber. It has a special summon. Oh, a destruction effect. What did the card text say? When this card destroys a monster by battle, send it to the graveyard. Yeah, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls. Okay, so what does it say? Set condition. This means when it battles and destroys a monster by battle. Okay. Target. That I'm gonna destroy a monster and operation. Okay. Maybe I can change it. Again, you can change the effect type to an ignition, a trigger effect, anything. Then we go down here. We know that it read this TT. Okay. So dual existing matching card. This means aux true means it's just a selectable card in the monster zone. Since this is 0, it will not target cards in our side of the field, only the opponent's side of the field. This aux true can also be replaced by a filter, so see your card's number dot any number filter name. Then okay, get matching group count. Okay, it will get that how many monsters are on the opponent's side of the field. Now this is not needed in the card process since the G is rewritten right here. This is just something to so it checks that how many cards does it have, but it's not needed. You can delete this. Unless I'm mistaken and they changed this recently, then shame on me. Then it will check again, hint message, destroy, G, select matching card, yeah. Aux true can be also the filter name. Location, M zone, opponent side of the field. Since this is 0, it doesn't target our side of the field. And 1/1, one card on their side of the field. If the G is bigger than 0, we say that, yeah, I'm going to destroy this card. Done. These are the basics of scripting and what can somewhat get you started. If this seemed complicated to you, please ask me questions. I'd be happy to answer them. And this is TheBoos signing out.